Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Dr. Sau. So let's start our today's business. Today we shall take up block 6. I'll request Dr. Sau to present the study material on the screen so that we can carry on further. We have 5 units here. Unit 19, that is clans and confederacy in Western India. Unit 20, urban local groups in Northern India. Unit 21, changing social structure in peninsular India. And socio-religious movement. Unit 22nd, Unit 23rd, 18th century in transition. So these are the chapters we shall discuss. Now let me tell you that Unit 9 is generally it discuss about this rise of Rajput clans in Western India, in Rajasthan, Gujarat. And then in the Unit 20, you will find these urban local groups, different groups in the urban areas in North India during the end of the medieval period, or we can say towards the end of the Mughal period, before the colonization, and the changing social structure in peninsular India or in South India. That is in Unit 21 during Mongol period, and Unit 22 is socio-religious movement during Mughal period again, and the 18th century in transition in the last uh, unit. So now I may know that have you gone through these units and what sort of difficulties you have faced so that we can have a discussion. Dr. Shah, you are present. Please, can I have the study material in the screen that we used to share? Yes, Radhanjali, do you have any question? Radhanjali, please
Yes,
share
sir.
your question with me.
Sir,
Uh,
sir, explain the clan formation.
and formation
Yes, sir.
of what? Clan formation of Rajput clan.
Yes, sir. For
Naballo and the cherry, Asiso, Precision, and Little.
Now, so far, the clan formation of Rajput clan is concerned, there are two views. One view is advocated by Professor B.D. Chattopadhyay, and another view is advocated by Norman Juglar. Now, both these views contrast each other, while B.D. Chattopadhyay advances his view of the clan formation of this Rajput clan in Western India on the basis of his advocacy. His view is based upon the political character. That is, the political motives political ideologies, and result, political activity was the result of the clan formation among the Rajput clan. On the other hand, Norman Ziegler, he advocates that it is not clan formation, rather it was some sort of patron and client relations which has helped for the formation of different Rajput clan. Now, so far B.D. Chattopadhyay's assertion is concerned, it suggests that in the early medieval, towards the end of the early medieval period and in the whole of medieval period, there was the political power which was detrimental and determining factor for the rise of different Rajput clan.
Just Kalima Katili.
And in order to so in order to strengthen his view, he had advocated many theories. For example, theories like Agneepath theory, which state that Rajput were born out of the fire altar, that is fire altar of the Yajna Sthala. That Yajna was initiated by says Vasishtha, and because this was a theory which was strengthening the mythological origin of the Rajput clan. And most of the Rajput clan, they try to trace their origin from this lunar dynasty, and of course some are from the solar dynasty, and all these are mythological basis of their origin. The Rajput they claim in order to legitimize their kingship, their royal authority, and no doubt all these things together points to the political motives, political ideologies working behind the formation of clans of Rajput. It is because of asserting political supremacy, or in order to exercise political supremacy, this sort of ideological advocacy have been made to bring a sort of faith, belief among the masses, so that they can exercise their political power conveniently and without any resistance. And that is the B.D. Chattopadhyay's view. So at present, we are adopting this B.D. Chattopadhyay's view. We are accepting this B.D. Chattopadhyay's view, and we can see that the formation of the clan was due to the lack of a supreme political power, and as a result, numerous minor uh, political groups they cropped up in different parts of central India, different part of western India, and of course in some part of northern India. The result was that in order to exert their political supremacy, this power began to adhere to so many mythological views, mythological theories, and this is the thing behind the formation of clan. Yes, Shraddhanjali? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Sahu, I request you, Dr. Sahu, are you hearing me?
Hearing, but no, trying.
I'm trying. I mean, is there any technical error or technical difficulties? I'm also trying, but I'm not successful. Actually, I want that material very urgently. It needs, I mean, need. I'm also trying. Okay, Shraddhanjali.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any question? Any next question? This
Not
is the
now, sir.
formation of clans of the.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Who is asking?
Sir,
Yes. Sorry.
so compare BD Chattopadhyay and Norma Jailer's perspectives on clan formation among Rajput.
That you are actually reading out a question just now. I told you, na, B.T. Chattopadhyay's view is on political motive or political compulsion, and Norman Ziegler's view is on client patron theory. Now, what is B.D. Chattopadhyay? His view. I'm just yes. Just a minute. I'm just telling you. It is a 19. It is 19. Yes. Yes. Here. Just introduction part. Introduction. 19. Introduction. Yes. And just have some format, a large format. You make it please 150%. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much. Now it will be easier for me to present to my students. Now you see that you say just if you have the study material, Sangeeta, you can also have a look at this point. You just come to 19. That is 19 introduction person. Unit 19 introduction person, and here it has been clearly mentioned. You can understand very well. Now you see. In the early medieval and medieval period, growth of Rajput clans and confederacies in Rajasthan. This will be done mainly through two accounts. One of B.T. Chattopadhyay's early medieval story of emergence of Rajputs, and second of the medieval period by Norman Ziegler. The two accounts, based on different sets of evidences, may be compared to gain an insight into the process of clan formation of Rajput. It would be evident that even the perspective of the two scholars differ on this issue. It means the viewpoint of two scholars, they also differ on the issue of the clan formation among the Rajputs. Yes. The front can front be expanded? I mean, front, a large front. Yes. Yes, thank you. Now, the two accounts based on different sets of evidences may be compared to gain an insight into the process of clan formation of Rajputs. It would be evident that even the perspective of the two scholars differ on this issue. For B.D. Chattopadhyay, the use of the concept political in delineating the emergence of Rajput is critical. I have already discussed this point while I was giving explanation to the query made by Shraddhanjali, that how political compulsion or political political motive was behind this rise of Rajput clan. I have already decided. And what is the concept that Norman Ziegler is advancing? Norman Ziegler is advancing that there is the transition from kin-based clan structure to service and exchange network is the key understanding the Rajput in the Mughal time. It means B.D. Chattopadhyay view is based upon in the clan formation that is there any problem?
Actually, some are trying to get into the class. So at the same time, when I'm presenting, students are.
Oh, you are ready. You are permitting them, and on the basis on the process
So
of this
both
permission.
things it
I
cannot be
understand.
done simultaneously. Some are coming also.
I understand. Oh, no. Okay. I understand your predicament. I understand your difficulties. I was also taking classes in my college today. The same problem persisted. Anyway, so we are in a pandemic situation. We have to adjust with many things now. Okay. Now you see, Sangeeta, as I was telling,
Now, sir, hello. Now, okay, you are presenting, it's all right. You just put it on MHI 6. Click on MHI 6. Okay. Then again, click again on the front page. Front page of MHI 6 or in the. Then share. Sir, okay, you do one thing, sir. MHI, then sir, download it. Download it. This download it, sir. Download. Okay, this is the file. Okay, download it. Yes, yes. Hide. Hide. It is visible. Again, click on the required unit. Then, sir, hide it. Hide this one. Hide it.
Okay, I mean, actually, it is very difficult for me in my part to do this. Please help me. I have to undergo an orientation course.
Sir, this is the way I am
for
doing it, sir.
learning all these things.
You see, sir, I have already. Okay. This one. Now your entire screen I have already downloaded. Now click on this share. It's very easy. Then I click on the files. That is very clear.
Now can I navigate?
No,
but I cannot navigate. I think.
No, very easy. No, while you are not downloading. You are just directly from your files. whatever the files I have given you, on that file you better first download it and keep it on the below the row and keep it for some time. Then you go to the presentation, then click on the presentation. Then when it allows, then you click on the files on the below the line. Then after it will automatically come. It's all right.
Okay.
And you are doing it.
For today,
no doubt you are doing
let it be like this.
But once you will be, I'll show you one. Okay.
Okay. If time permit, I'll be busy to.
Okay.
Someday I'll learn from you. From next session, it will be helpful for us. Anyway, the first that was I was discussing 19.0. 19.0, the previous one.
Previous one.
19.0, the previous one. Yes. Now you see, Sangeeta, I was replying you. Now, BD talked about the use of concept political in delineating the emergence of Rajput is critical. You see, the rise and achievement of Rajput into the fold of warriors of honor is seen essentially is a political process. That I have already told it while I was answering Shraddhanjali, that it was a political process. It is a political issue. It is not the issue which is just directly linked with a clan and its interaction between the clan. It is a political issue, and this political issue, when it got a shape, there was interaction between clan on the basis of brotherhood, or interaction among the clan on the basis of marriage. That brotherhood which has been mentioned as bhai bandhu, and marriage as saga or sagai. Like that, we can say that first, as B.D. Chattopadhyay has advanced his theory, first it was the political process, or we can say this political viewpoint, political motive, which was definitely responsible for this clan, this formation of clan of Rajput. And then we can go with the theory of Norman Ziegler, who advanced the theory that it is parent-client framework. You see, it has been clearly mentioned. For Ziegler, on the other hand, the transition from kin-based clan structure to service and exchange network is the key to understanding the Rajput in the Mughal times. He uses the patron-client framework to designate the process. Now, these two frameworks have often been at class in the writing of Indian history. However, recently it has been used at local level. Patron-client framework is useful in understanding social phenomena. I told you it is only for understanding social phenomena, while for political phenomena, B.D. Chattopadhyay's view is accepted. Okay, Susri, Sangeeta. Clear? If you now, this is not actually entirely, I am not giving you the entire thing. I have just given you a viewpoint, how to separate, how to differentiate the views of Ziegler as well as views of B.D. Chattopadhyay. But you have to read clan formation as a political process, and the next you have also clan formation on its social basis. Then you can understand and differentiate. You can understand. It is very clear and very simple to understand. Thank you. Next, Dr. Sir, it is very good. Thank you. And then next question. Anybody else? Any question from this chapter? This was from Unit 19, Clan and Confederacy in Western India. Now, Unit 20, Urban Local Groups in North India. Unit 20. Dr. South, can I have Unit 20 on the screen? Yes. Now, you see, in Unit 20, you have many things. For example, introduction, of course. Then there is 20.2. The next chapter is elites in the urban setting. Iktadar, Mansabdars, Jagirdars, different types of urban elite, having different types of political as well as economic status in the society. Jagirdar, Iqtadar, and Mansabdar, they were all royalty, part of royal framework. They are also part of administrative framework. Iqtadar and Mansabdar and Jagirdar, they are also having some sort of military character. Then similarly, next section, social and racial composition of the elites, power and position of the new ruling elite. These are the things that has been enumerated in the study material. You can go through and you can understand very easily. If you don't understand, then please go through and ask your doubts. New social groups that emerged during Mughal period. Then professional classes. There are different professional classes and trading groups, urban artisans, slaves, slavery, women in medieval society, religious classes. Summary. Now these are the points. Now I want you that which point you need to be elaborated so that I can elaborate these points. We can have a discussion on these points.
Sir,
Yes.
the position of women during the medieval period.
Position of women. You are asking this question because you are a woman, so you want to know what was the condition of your sisters in the medieval period.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Yes, very good. Okay. It is just I'm in a lighter manner. I told it is good because first tell me one thing. Why it is always we are discussing the position of women, not position of men. Can anybody of you just give me a very brief answer that why it is position of women, not position of men? Sarmila, can you give me answer? Why it is position of men and not position of women, not position of men, and not only in Mughal period or medieval period we are discussing, we are also discussing position of women in the ancient period.
Sir, because at that time, women are neglected by the society.
Yes, women's were.
Neglected
Yes,
by
you
the society.
neglected by the society, and then therefore can we just solve this negligence of the towards the women by the society by just understanding their position? We have to do something more. Now I may tell you, we have already discussed about the Vedic society and the society during the time of Buddha and Mahavir, and also the society of the Guptas. All this society I have already narrated that. I have already mentioned also in your study material. It has been mentioned if you have gone through that during Vedic period, at least in the early Vedic period, that is in Rigvedic period, the position of women was not that inferior to men. It was equal to men. Women were equally enjoying the same status as the men were enjoying. But gradually, women were relegated to a status, and they are equated with a very low status of the society. They were regarded as Sudra status. They were given the status of Sudra. Sudra means the low rank men in the society, the low status men in the society, and they were denied the privilege to study Veda. They were denied to study different things, study the different things, acquire different knowledge, and as a result, they were kept in a negligence. And what we see gradually, the position was deteriorated. And when we come to medieval period, and this position was very deplorable, and it's a position of complete deterioration. Now you see the Indian women's position in the medieval period in the society was further deteriorating. I'm not telling it, it has been mentioned in your book also. And during the medieval period, and when sati, child marriages, and a ban on widow remarriage became part of social life in India, because women were there to fill up the different social gap. For example, if a husband dies, then it was women to be sacrificed in the funeral pyre of the husband, and there she was regarded as sati, rewarded with the status as sati. And just it was a status which we can say it was a pompous status, nothing practical. Similarly, there was also child marriages, and also there was remarriages, widow remarriages was banned. So in this way, women were there, the freedom of women, the independence of women, liberty of women was made limited. Not only limited, it was truncated completely. It was made to be handicapped. They had no say in any matters, either in the family or in the matter of the society. So among the Rajput of Rajasthan, the Johor was practiced. As I told you, sati was practiced among the high class Hindu. So in Rajasthan, among the Rajput, that was called Johor. And you know that during the time of when Alauddin Khilji attacked Mewar, Queen Padmavati had to adopt this practice of Johor. And then there were also that in some parts of India there was the system of Devdasi. And you know Devdasi, they were the temple girl, or we can say the girls donated to the gods for the service of the god, to serve the god as their servitudes or as their servants, female attendants. And they were not only serving the deva or god in the temple, they were rather sexually exploited by the priestly class. And by side, there was also polygamy. Polygamy means marrying more than one wife. That is polygamy. Polygamy was practiced by the Hindu Kshatriya rulers as well as by the Muslim rulers in the medieval period. So we can say that the position of women in the Mughal period or in the medieval period was that of a very deteriorated one, very deplorable, and we can say very pathetic. It was not that of a good sight or good picture. Okay, Sharmila, you can have a view of this study material. You can understand many things are there.
Okay, sir.
Dr. Pao, please take me back to this unit 20, that is unit 20.7. Unit 20.7.
Hello.
20.8.
Sir, namaste.
20.8. Namaste, Rakesh.
Sir, what is the reason behind it? Why the women are neglected, and what is the reason why they are neglected? But at first, in the previous periods, the women are got the equal position in India, but later it will deteriorate. Why?
Very simple question, but with a very critical answer. It is a very simple question. Question is very simple, Rakesh, but the answer is a lengthy one and very critical. Now, you see, I told you, during the Vedic period, women were given the equal status with that of their male counterpart. They were given all sorts of educations. It is generally told that they were also allowed to live in the Gurukul. For example, we know that during the time of Ramayana, Valmiki Ashrama, there were the women living, and they were also studying scriptures. Similarly, they were also given education in all arts, in all forms of arts, all forms of crafts. and also education and Vedic education. And we know that some of the women rishis were there. We can say women suggest, for example, Gargi, Lupamudra, Gargi, Vishwabhara, they were the wife of rishis who also composed some of the hymns or Vedic stanzas, Vedic shlokas. But gradually, society became complex and complicated. It was not that very simple society as it existed in the early Vedic or Vedic period. Gradually, society was going to be complicated, going to be complex, and with these complexities, the social norms, social activities, they were also getting complex, and women also became victim of this complexity. Women became victim of this complexity. Why society became complex? Because you see, Aryan and Aryan races, they were in constant fighting, and in this fighting, in course of this fighting, Manarians were definitely defeated. But the result is that defeated Manarians were made the servants of the Aryans. As a result, the servants of the Aryan with the name of Sudra or Mlecha or Dasa or Dasyus, they remained in the Aryan society, and there was every danger that they may come in contact with this Aryan women or Aryan women folk, where there will be a constant fear, anticipation of intermixture of caste, intermixture of Varna. Varna, as I have told you, that to differentiate between two classes of people, Aryan, non-Aryan. And there, we got the word Varna Sankara, intermixture of the Varnas. And the society was in no mood, no way to give in marriage to its daughter, to a inferior Varna. And therefore, women were relegated to a lower status, not allowed to come outside, not allowed to participate in the educational or in the educational pursuits or in some outside activities. So they were kept inside. This system was not, this sort of activity or this sort of system was not happened in one day or in a single day or in a single year. It took several years, hundreds of years. Gradually, the status of women was declining. From later Vedic age, we see status of women was declining. Even Lord Buddha, who was a very broad and very wise man, initially he denied the entry of women into Buddhist Sangha. Later on, he was very much pursued by Amrapali of Vaishali, and then Buddha accepted women in the Buddhist Sangha, but he was also not allowing women into Buddhist Sangha. And in the course of time, by the end of the Gupta period, we see women were very much, their condition was very much deplorable. Women were very much relegated to the lowest chanda. And coming to medieval time, the situation was very precarious. Coming to medieval time in the Mughal period, the situation was very precarious. Now you see, the child marriage was unknown in Vedic age. So also child marriage was unknown during Mauryan period or in the time of Buddha. But gradually, after Gupta period and coming to medieval period, child marriage was initiated. Child marriage was accepted as norms in the society. In this way, there were many things that we see that women, there's many taboos, many social restrictions were added to this women's life. स्त्री लोगों को जीवन में गुड़ाए प्रकार restriction को जोड़ा गया, and the result is that they were completely squeezed within the threshold of house, within the four wall of the house. And what was the dictum of the society? Society dictum kon? Society kon kohila? The Dharma Shastra writers, Smriti writers, they they prayed the women in a very high sounding words. Gruhini gruha muchyate. Gruhini gruha muchyate. Mane, if a gruhini is there, he will be there to make a house a heaven. Ghara bhitere gruhini ghara ko swarga kar di paribo, se ghare rahba uchit. So his public appearance was denied, and by the medieval period it became more rigid. public appearance, whatever was there, it was completely denied with the advent of the Islam, because there was fear that Islam might hamper the status, Islam might hamper or hammer on the prestige and um, honor of the Hindu society by polluting the women folk of Hindus. As a result, there came Parda system. By 13th, 14th century with AD, Parda system was introduced. There was no Parda. Remember, in Indian society, there was no Parda. जो घूंघट कुहाउची ओढ़णी कुहाउची बा ओढ़णा कुहाउची, that was not there. If you go through any description in any literature of 10th century, 11th century AD, even if you go to the temples and you see the artistic piece that were beautifying the wall of the temples, you will find there is no such parda or odhana system. Nobody, no man is wearing sari with a odhana. But later on, this odhana was introduced in order to make the woman, to conceal the face of the woman behind the odhana, so that nobody can see and cannot take her away, could not take her away. So in this way, काले ताकू नहीं जो उठेगी, काले ता पवित्रता नष्ट करिवे, एई जो चिंताधारा गुड़िक परवर्ती समय रे निजर समाज को एवं समाजर सम्मान को बंचाई देकी वुमेन मानको पादरे बेडी बंधे दिया गला. So this is the thing why the gradually the status and condition of women was deteriorated. Okay, Rakesh?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have also read, sir, that when the Afghans come to India, when they conquer Indian territories, they also give their kings the beautiful queens of Indian king. And
they were actually,
yes, sir.
they were actually, whenever they were conquering or they were annexing any territory, defeating any Hindu king, Hindu Raja, king, what was their main aim? After defeating, they were looting, plundering the treasury. There were two types of treasury. One is treasury filled with gold, treasury filled with this precious metal like diamond and other precious stones, Mani Mukta ityadi. And the second treasury is the women folk. Beautiful women were, they were forcibly abducted, and they were presented to this emperor of Iraq, or we can say that जो अरब इन्वेजन ऑफ सिंध होता तो से जो मालिक कपूर थिला से जितला परे दाहिर कर दी झियो को बंदी करी नहीं कि देइथला बादशाह को Iraq or Basran को presentation देइथला. So in this way we see the numerous example that these Muslim invaders, they after conquering a territory in India, they used to conquer and they used to plunder the treasury, as well as they used to abduct the women folk and present to their overlord. This is a normal thing that they were doing it in a normal way. So it was there for this only the Hindu society, they try to keep their women folk within the four wall of the house.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Very fearness developed among the Hindus.
So
yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you too much, sir. Thank you.
Anything, anybody? Then we shall go to next unit, changing social structure, unit 21. After 5 minutes break, Dr. Sau, I request you, if you are free, please engage your learners for 5 minutes. Then I shall have a glass of water. I shall again rejoin my students. Please till then bear with me. We shall take up 21, 22, 23 in the next session after 5 minutes relaxation. Thank you.
Is it visible? Hello, I want to show something. Hello.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yes, sir,
Visible,
visible.
sir.
Okay. This is e-Gyan course. Okay. This is e-Gyan course. You can visit this e-Gyan course. You can get the materials from this e-Gyan course. Okay. Now I'll show you this how to download these. Sometimes you are facing problem while downloading the materials from e-Gyan course. So this is the largest depository or largest e-library or e-content. Okay, and these are the materials are available. If if you can suggest your you can say if your juniors, those who are pursuing BA or BSc, they can download these are the BA, and this side is BSc and BCom. Okay, then this is the say IGNOU self-learning materials. This is the IGNOU Facebook live recorded videos. History also, you see those uh, these are the IGNOU YouTube videos. If you want to watch the videos on history or any topic of your choice related to history, you can also watch these YouTube videos. And this is the Indian Journal of Open Learning. This is the magazine. This is the monthly magazine. This is published by IGNOU. And this is the SWAYAM course. SWAYAM course means IGNOU is also offering programs, means the certificate and diploma programs through SWAYAM platform. And these are the online courses. These online courses, any student of any age group can pursue the certificate program or diploma program through SWAYAM platform. And for this SWAYAM platform, this content, SWAYAM course content is there because study material is there. So the student, he or she, can pursue or can have these materials downloaded from this platform. Then this is the IGNOU self-learning materials. As you know that you are a student of IGNOU and you are studying through ODL, open and distance learning. Clear now? Open and distance learning. Open means it is flexible. Distance means from a distance, from any part of India, from any place of India, you can study the any course of your choice through IGNOU. That means your teacher is somewhere else. If your teacher is from Bhubaneswar, if you are from Raulkela or you are from Delhi, you can also study, or you can also attend the counseling, or you can also study, or you can also interact with your resource person or the counselors through distance mode. It can be also possible. Now it is also happening through distance mode or through online learning. Your teacher is from Bhubaneswar, you are from different parts of Orissa, and you are participating in the online class and interacting with the resource person through online or digital platform. It can be possible. It can be possible, and it is also happening. Clear now? And many, this is the, you see, IGNOU's, it is a very innovative idea. IGNOU has already designed from its inception, but other regular colleges or universities, now they are adopting this online platform, because as you know that the pandemic situation, it compelled it just hampered the face-to-face learning. So there was no alternative to conduct the face-to-face learning. So ultimately teaching and learning could be imparted through online platform. And this is also but IGNOU has been uh, taking up this online platform from its inception, because this is a digital platform IGNOU has initiated or founded when the open and distance learning was, or IGNOU was founded. So the basically it was open and distance learning, and this distance learning based upon uh, the digital platform, like sharing of e-content and imparting knowledge or sharing knowledge through online platform. Because there are, you see, besides this online platform you will have that Gyan Darshan channels. There are three, you can say, there's a Gyanvani. You, if you visit FM radio channels, we have also Gyanvani channels, and these Gyanvani channels also uh, live interactive sessions are there. The resource person will be there. Then the resource person will discuss the topics, and then the learners or the listeners, in the form of, or you can say in the form of learning, they can interact with the resource person live, you know. And that also is happening in IGNOU, because IGNOU believes in digital way of imparting knowledge to the learners, and the teaching learning is also taking place through digital platform. And next is I must say here that Gyandarshan channel you will find 23, 22, and 22, 23, 24. These are the channels are dedicated uh, in collaboration with ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and IGNOU is broadcasting and telecasting the programs uh, on, you can say, live. And there the resource persons, they generally discuss the matters live, and all the participants also generally requested to join and watch the live programs. Many topics were discussed, and these have been recorded. Some are recorded, some are live. And before the you can say, before the uh, operationalization of these programs on Doordarshan platform, or the DD, or you can say through Gyandarshan, generally the students are used to be informed, and through SMS or mails, and so that the student will find out the time and watch these programs live. And even if there is also toll-free numbers, and these, through these toll-free numbers, the student can ask question to the resource person, and the resource person are sometimes are from IGNOU, you can say own existing of you can say disciplines and schools, and sometimes they are from outside or other universities, reputed universities, and they come and interact with the students, and they discuss and deliberate upon various important topics. And students, those who are watching these Gyandarshan channels, and they used to ask question to the resource persons, and the resource persons, they explain very nicely. Generally, if you watch, you can also see how they were explaining, and very nicely to the participants or the learners, those who are watching these Gyandarshan channels. These are the Facebook live recorded videos, because nowadays this Facebook is also one of the social medias. Is it clear? Facebook, WhatsApp, then Google Meet, and Zooms. These are the social media. These are the platforms of the social medias. And through different medias, so IGNOU also imparting the knowledge, sharing knowledge uh, to the students or to the learners. So IGNOU is having also own Facebook, and through this Facebook, different schools, they have come forward and share their informations, share important topics of their choice with the student mass, so that the student can easily understand the concepts, contents, and syllabus and curriculum which has been involved in the program, which you are generally pursued by the students of their own choice. So different resource persons, they have already recorded, or recorded means they have already on live, or you can say on live, or you can say through Facebook, they having their live programs, and the students generally are informed to watch this Facebook, and this link is created, and this link is shared to the students, and the student can have a watch, or they can hear, they can ask question in the chat box, and these interactive Facebook sessions are recorded in the form of videos, and these recorded videos you can also have look when the classes will be over, the online classes will be over, you can have a look, or you can go through these Facebook live recorded videos, and through this you can also acquire some kind of knowledge related to your programs, because not only history, there will be political science, there will be science, there will be management, there will be you can say medical science, and there will be also the professional programs like B.Ed, MA education, and some postgraduate diploma program. So these are the all recorded videos are there. If you find time, or if you are at the leisure time, you can have a look at these you can say IGNOU Facebook live recorded videos. This is the self learning material, as I want to show you how to get different types of you can say these are the schools which are existing in IGNOU. IGNOU, you see, there are 20, or you can see there are schools like the School of Humanities, School of Social Sciences, this is a School of Sciences, and you see the number of schools are there. So altogether, you'll find there are 22 schools are there. 22 schools. One is STRIDE. This is the training. Staff Training and Research Institute of Distance Education, and then School of Social Work, School of Extension and Development Studies, School of Foreign Languages, and these languages means Spanish is there, French is there, then Urdu is there, Arabic is there, then you can say German is there, Russian is there. If you want to, very interesting, if you want to add on, if you want to pursue some add-on courses, it is also available in School of Foreign Languages, because it will help you to upgrade your knowledge, because whenever you will face any interview, you can say that I have done this German language, I have done French language, I have done Russian language, or I can you can say that I have done other or Arabic or Urdu language. This will be definitely, it will give you some kind of credit, or will give you some kind of weightage. Then School of Journalism is there. That is a Master of Journalism, Master degree in Journalism. Then Postgraduate Diploma in Journalism. This is also, it is available in this. It is maintained and designed the programs by the School of Journalism and New Media Studies. Then School of Tourism and Hospitality Service Management. This is also, we are offering master degree in tourism and bachelor degree in tourism, and certificate programs, diploma programs. We have also visual arts. Then you have interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary studies, School of Vocational Education, School of Law, School of Agriculture, School of Computer and Information Sciences, School of Health Sciences. Then we have also a School of Management and School of Engineering and Technology, and we have School of Continuing Education and School of Education. As I mentioned, the School of Education offering B.Ed, MA Education, Postgraduate Diploma in Higher Education, and Postgraduate Diploma in Educational Management, Postgraduate Diploma in School Leadership and Management, and many more you can say postgraduate diploma programs and diploma programs are there, which are offered you can say by the School of Education. Generally the materials are designed and prepared by School of Education. Then School of Sciences is there, which offering programs like BSc and other sciences. We are postgraduate diploma is there, postgraduate certificate program is there. So these are the programs which are designed also and offered by the School of Sciences. Then School of Social Sciences, you are coming under, your program is coming under School of Social Sciences. and School of Humanities also offering program master degree in English and BA English, and these programs, and you can say these are programs which are the course materials, the e-content, which are also you can say performed, or you can say care by the School of Humanities. Then School of Social Sciences, as you know, that is a largest you can say largest social you can, and then it includes your of all art subjects like MA in history, political science, then economics, then English, or you can say your so other social sciences, or MA in
Public
then
administration.
these are included in the social sciences, and there you can download the material. Clear now? And here you can also download the material from these social sciences discipline. You can write that what subject or title, what discipline you can write here, then easily it can be downloaded. Or straight away search, you can write search, I have searched here, I got it, I have searched with, that is why it is recorded, image study material. Clear now? Image study material, if you write here search in GAN course, then immediately they will open the PDF files, and you easily you can download. Many students, they were failing to do so. It is very easy. Search e-GAN course. If you search here, put image study materials, then immediately it will show the PDF files, and immediately you download it. It is a simple way of downloading the materials and keep it in your mobiles. And whenever you are, or you can say free, or you are at a leisure time, you can share these materials with the, or you can say with your friends, or you can go through those materials whenever you are free. So these are the most important things you have to know. Then another information that is also important for you, that you have to know, that these are the homepage. Always don't miss it, because a lot of informations are here. Clear now? Here, that these are the links. Always remember, this is the link. Always, you always sometimes you ask question, where the link. This is the online submission of examination form for term in June 2020, extended till 15 July, because we have not conducted till date, we have not conducted the June term and examination, and that is why state is blinking. And if you because if a student from July cycle, they can do also, or they can fill out the form through online. And link of online programs on offer, if because IGNOU is also offering some programs like certificate programs and diploma programs through online, because there will be online examination, there will be online counseling, there will be online chatting, there will be online tips. So all kinds of information, it will be through online, no offline. So this is the link, it is given, the link of online programs on offer. What are the programs are offer? You can see that whenever you find the free time. And these are the, always see, whenever you are free, this is my advice to all of you, whenever you are free, at least have some kind of search in the IGNOU website. You will get definitely some kind of information or important information which will help you in your academic studies. With these few words, now it is over to, I think our sir is already available, and
Yes, I'm already there. I have already joined, and I was actually with patience. I'm listening to you. A very good deliberation, Dr. Sahu. No doubt you are very convincing. Your approach is very convincing.
okay.
And I think I should also enroll as a student in IGNOU. Of course, I have already enrolled once for this degree program. You know that, and that master in higher distance education. I've done it, and then also I want to enroll again. It's very good platform, IGNOU, for a learning purpose. Thank you very much. And I feel myself very much elated as well as fortunate to having an opportunity like performing the act of a resource person or a counselor for the learners in IGNOU. Anyway, thank you very much. Now, let's again come back to our session. This session, this second half of this session, I am proposing to take up Unit 2, 21, Changing Social Structure in Peninsular India. Changing Social Structure in Peninsular India. Dr. Sahu, I shall request you So 21 is 21. Thank you. You see, there are introductions, political elites, landed elites. These are there. Vatandar, landed elites in Tamil region, and Pallai occurs. Then this was 21.3, Belangai, Idengai groups, right hand, left hand caste. Traders and artisans, religious groups, Sufism in Deccan, and these are the things that you may go through. As well as if you find any difficulty, you can ask. Now, this is a very interesting thing. That what is this Balangai and Idangai conflict group? A right-handed and left-handed group. Have you gone through? Okay, here, please. No, previous one. Previous one. 21 point. Okay, here. Palaikar. 21.2. Yes, 3.3. Okay. This is a peculiar term, Palaya Kakars, and you see these are the term used for peasant communities who were also landed elite, and they were also agriculturalists. And now in the dry upland zones, these agriculturalists very often come into conflict with the hunters and pastoralists that often led to the incorporation of the latter into the agricultural communities. These changes provided the context for the emergence of a warrior peasant class, both economically and politically powerful, and primarily non-Brahmin and Telugu in composition. Now, this is a caste, or this is a community, Palayakaras. Palayakaras is a community, is a peasant community with a warrior identity. It is not only a simple peasant community, but warrior peasant communities. Now, can you just, learners, just tell me, can you just identify one such community in Odisha? Can you just have any idea? Can you just give me an idea, or can you share me with your idea? Any community with this Palayakars community of South in Tamil region? Yes, anybody else? These peasant communities with warrior identity. Am Odisha re community achi? Have you any reference to this community? Yes, we have. We have very much, and they are very famous. Paiko. ଆମେ ପାଇକ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରବର୍ତ୍ତନ କେତେ କାମ କରୁଛେ, ପାଇକ ମାନଙ୍କ ସ୍ମୃତି ରକ୍ଷା ପାଇଁ କେତେ କାମ କରୁଛେ, ସେଇ ପାଇଁ ତ ମୁଁ ଏଟାକୁ କହିଲି, ଏଟାକୁ ଆଣନ୍ତୁ ଦେଖିବି. Then we shall go to the next section, 21.3. Dr. Saab, please share the screen with 21.3 study material. Yes, hello. Learners, dear learners, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This was one of my observation, that you should know that our history, Odisha history also you should know, so that it is very much easy to compare the history of other region, and it is very easy to understand and remember. If you compare, you remember one thing. And this Palai Kakars, that this community, very peculiar community in Tamil regions, that is an equivalent community of Odisha, that Paika community. That was what I was trying to reflect. Next, we shall go to the next point, Balangai, that is right-handed, and this Idangai, that is left-handed caste. And I'm selecting this point in order to give you some idea, some peculiar idea that may confuse you. And therefore, these peculiar terms and peculiar idea I should make you acquainted with. And this Belangai, or the right hand, refers to a caste-based division of communities in the Tamil Nadu region, and that was in from very ancient time, right up to 19th century, and even to the early decades of 20th century. That Velangai community, Velangai group, having almost 60, 60 different castes, and that Idengai groups had some almost 6 different castes, and they were having a class or a conflict for establishing their supremacy, and in course of time, before independence, and they were amalgamated into one, and their division or their classes, their conflict was removed. They came in conflict with this Belela. Belelas were dominant agricultural community in south, particularly in Tamil Nadu, and also the Brahmin community. But gradually, that differences and the gap between these communities were lessened, and by the time independence, there was no such classes. Belengai and Idengai, right hand and left hand caste. And if you read them, then you will find that the expansion of agriculture led to an increase in landed transaction, private and temple holdings, particularly in the non-Brahman villages. This created a hierarchical structure. I had already yesterday or day before yesterday, I was giving you what is the meaning of hierarchy and what is the meaning of hierarchical structure. A hierarchical structure means in a social structure in the society, if there will be a hierarchical structure, then there will be always a vertical placement or status of different groups of people. For example, one will be at the highest and one will be at the lowest. For example, our caste system is a hierarchical system where Brahmanas are placed in a hierarchy, in a top hierarchy, while Sudras are placed in the lowest hierarchy. So in this way, we see that because of this landed transaction expansion of agriculture, there was a hierarchical structure of the landed rights. Yesterday, we are also discussing this with reference to peninsular India. There were different hierarchies, different status. There are different people with different status, and in the sphere of landed rights, in the matter of landed rights, and all people are not same so far landed rights are concerned. And with the increasing prominence of the Velelas as dominant agricultural communities vis-a-vis lower agricultural groups, there are some groups which are very much dominating and they are very prominent, whereas there are certain smaller groups, they were not prominent. And this Belengai and Idengai group came into conflict, came into light because of this conflict between this highly prominent group of agriculturalists and the lower groups of agriculturalists. And as a result, we see there was a group formation which was called right-handed group, Belalai having a higher hierarchy, higher place, and Idengai with a lower place, and they were called left-handed group. And this is the brief description of this Belengai and Idengai. Next, you may put your doubts. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Anything? Rakesh is there?
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Sir, I have
Pavita.
a question. Yes, sir.
Yes.
The
Yes,
socio-political role of the Sufis in the Deccan.
Socio-political role of the Sufis in the Deccan.
Yes, sir.
Now see, there are different rules of Sufis in the Deccan. I may give you some description point-wise. First of all, the political role of the Sufis in granting the legitimacy to the state was based upon certain developments. But remember one thing, political role of the Sufis centers around granting legitimacy to the state. You know what is the legitimacy? As I have already discussed in the case of our Rajput clan, I told you, in order to have political legitimacy, the Rajput were having some mythological origin, and this mythological origin was definitely created by Brahmana and created and approved by Brahmins. As the Brahmin group was the ultimate provider of legitimacy to the Rajput and other Hindu kingdoms. Similarly, in the medieval period, we see the political legitimacy was generally granted by the Sufi saints, and the Sufi saints were given some sort of recognition or some sort of permission to do such things in the name of religion by the Abbasid Caliphate, which was stationed in Baghdad. So Sufis were first in the political matter, they were the provider of the legitimacy. Number one, for the Sufi Sunni Muslims, the spiritual leadership formally rested with the Khalifa and informally with the Sufis. So formally, Khalifa was the master who used to grant the legitimacy, but informally it was the Sufi saints who were legitimatizing the state or the rule of the Bassa or rule of the Sultan over a state. Number two, the Waliyat or the spiritual territory of a Sufi sect theoretically had no territorial limitation. It means no Sufi saints had no territorial limitation. They were all pervasive, and hence it followed that Sufis could bestow moral legitimacy to any state anywhere in the world. This was political role. Number three, if a Sufi sect authenticated a state, then the character of the state transferred from Darul Harb, that is the abode of war, to Darul Islam, that is abode of peace. It means if a Sufi saint has a recognition or a legitimation, or Sufi sect has authenticated a state or authenticated the rule of a state, then in that case there is a belief that the state had a character which is transferred from Darul Harb, that means a constant warfare, to a constant peace, that is Darul Islam. In this way, political rule of the Sufi was centered. Then coming to social rule, the Sufis, they were the preacher. They were preacher and they were also teacher. What they do, what they used to do, they used to teach the poor, illiterate, non-Muslim. They used to teach Muslim population, a Muslim population like those people who were at the lowest ebb of the society. For example, the barbers, the smith means this ironsmith, or this potters, and so on. A range of people with the literature, religious literature, and this literature was generally comprised of not only of religious matter but folk songs, which contains different scenery of everyday life, different pictures of everyday life, and all these things suggest that Sufis, as a matter of not only socio-religious, it was Sufis, they formed a part of socio-religious movement. They exercised huge influence not only in the religious matter but also political as well as social matter of the society and in the medieval period. Okay? Okay. Kavita, you had asked me a question?
Yes, sir.
You go through now. It is unit 22. Can I have unit 22? Dr. Saul, are you listening? Yes. Snehalata, are you going to ask me anything? Anything? Are you having any doubt? Snehalata? So we are going to 22 section 22, unit 22. No, sorry, it is 32. It is 32, Dr. Saab, it is 32. So change it. 22. Yes. And you say the popular devotional movement, Bhakti of the Nayanar and Alwar, perhaps on the second class, I had given you some idea that how Alwar and Nayanar were different um, repositing their faith on Shaiva and Vaishnava, Shiva and Vishnu respectively, and they carried on a long drawn movement, and it is the Bhakti movement, and we can say this is the first Bhakti movement in the annals of Indian history, and it continued for over 400 to 500 years. And another Bhakti saint was Shankaracharya, who advocated Advaita philosophy. Advaita philosophy rested on the theory of Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, Brahma Jiva Iva Napara. It means Brahma and Jiva. Jiva means this prani, and that living being, and Brahma means the ultimate reality. They are one and the same. It was propagated by Shankaracharya, who was a saint of 9th century, and he perhaps traveled throughout. He traveled throughout India, and at the age of 5, he denounced the world. He denounced his home, family, and became a saint, a brahmachari. And he moved far and wide. At Kashi, he learned the knowledge. He gathered knowledge. He learned the Vedantic knowledge. Then he went far and wide, and he came to also Puri, where he established Govardhan Pithamatha. And there are 4 Shankaracharya, 4 mathas established by Shankaracharya, and they are till now regarded as the center of Hindu cult, Hindu activities, Hinduism, the great center of Hinduism. And then we had this integration, consolidation of religious tradition from 1000 to 300 historical background, socio-religious movement, the role of Acharya. And I think this is not so much difficult to understand. You can understand if you go through, and if you don't, then you put me question tomorrow. Socio-religious movement, new trend, changing social base, community identities, mechanism, integration, consolidation of community consciousness, socio-religious movement, development and trend. Then socio-religious movement in North India. So can I have this 22.3, 22.3.2? Twenty-two point 3.2. Uh, 22.3.2. 22.3.2 socio-religious movement, the role of the Acharya. And that I have already discussed that day. All verse
Hello,
are 12, including Vincent. Hello.
sir. Sir, I have a general. I want to know actually. At first, in Indian society, men worship the nature because nature is the main source from which we got everything. And in the latter period, the Hinduism is divided into different sects like Saibhya, Vaishnava, different sects. Why it happened? How this type of image worship and this type of devotion developed? How this type of idea is generated among the Hindus?
Tick. You are right. You are a very good question. You are always asking very good questions. Actually, this is a very important question. You should know actually this question embodies in itself the whole evolutionary process involving the Hindu ritual, Hindu way of worship, and the bhakti. Everything is there. The answer of this question will include everything. First of all, coming to the Vedic period. Now, you told me that the worship of nature. Why worship of nature? Because the forces of nature were first observed with awe. Awe means fear, and devotion. Devotion means bhakti. Fear because of the ferocity of these natural elements. For example, when there is wind is blowing speedily, like a cyclonic wind or a tornado, then it was creating fear, some sort of anxiety in the minds of the men.
Yes.
And when wind is there with providing a cool breeze, then there is a love, and that love was transformed into devotion, and there took place the concept of bhakti, surrender towards different natural phenomena, natural elements, and as such. Just a minute. Natural phenomena as such. In the Rigvedic age, what we see? There was worship only of the natural elements like wind, water, then the elements like prithvi, mati, soil, then these elements like fire. All these are natural elements which were worshipped out of fear as well as out of devotion. And because this Agni or all these elements were supposed to provide men with relief, with blessings, with energy, and with help, immense help. And therefore, this was out of worship. And I had told you, this age was a very simple age. People were worshipping by praying these elements from the core of their heart. They were only prayer, no offering. Offering was in the form of jajna. Jajna means the word jajna has come from this word jachana kariba, jachana. That jachana means which will be given by yourself. Jachiki dava, nijadu dava, swatta prabhata dava. From yourself, you are giving something that is called jachana, tyaga kardava. Jajna means tyaga kardava. So they thought, man was thinking that these blessings which have been bestowed by these gods and goddesses on us, and therefore we had got this blessing, this rich harvest produce. So they were giving this produce as a part of their sacrifice, part of their offering to these gods and goddesses, and that was called bali. Bali means a part, sacrifice. Bali means not that possibly. Or later on, it was equated with the sacrifice of animal. Bali means sacrifice. Sacrifice kare mane kichi dana de dava. भगवानଙ୍କର जेहेतु आम प्रति आशीर्वाद अछि एवं तांको पई आमे एते बडा प्रोड्यूस पाइछु एते उत्पादन पाइछु सेतुरे आमे तांको किछि देई दोछु एवं कोन दोछु गाई देइचंदी सेतुर खीर पाउछु खीररु दही दहीरु घियो रे आमे तांको आहुति दोउचे एवं से आहुति भीतर कोन दोउचे चोरु दोउचे चोरु रे कोन दिया जाय शस्य दिया जाय एवं विभिन्न फल पुष्प दिया जाय सो इन दिस वे इट वाज जस्ट ए very simple form of worship and this worship was filled with devotion. This was bhakti, surrendering, and gradually when the complexity grew and puja, all these worship, nature of worship, conduct of worship, all these became complicated, and in place of prayer there came the uttering of different types of mantra, durbodhya mantra. Durbodhya mantra kain kochu that there are certain mantras which you cannot even understand, and gradually what we see that in Veda there was also oneness of God, that God is one. Veda, it has been mentioned in the Rig Veda, Eka Brahma, Ditya Nasti, Vipra, Bahuda Vadanti. So in this way, there were only concept of one single Brahma, what that I told you. Shankaracharya also propagated the same thing. Eka Brahma, Ditya Nasti, Jiva Brahma, Jiva eva Napara. It means Eka Brahma. Shankaracharya jo katha kahithile se katha Vedare madhya thila. So in this way, gradually it was all got polluted, and I have already discussed that this was the result why Buddhism and Jainism had to emerge in order to give a solace to the society by preaching simple lifestyle with simple devotion and simple religious practices. Now, so far the image worship is concerned, remember one thing, image worship is not an Indian style. Image worship was never an Indian tradition. Image worship started with the Buddhist pantheon, we can say Buddhist religion. After the demise of Buddha, so many years after, almost, you can say, almost 500 years after, image of Lord Buddha was prepared. Image of Buddha was sculptured. It was because of the Indo-Greeks. Now, you know, during the time of Kanishka, there was a division of Buddhism, Mahayana and Hinayana. And Mahayana group of Buddhists, they propagated, they preached, and they also advocated for the worship of Buddha, what Buddha had denied. Buddha himself had denied no worship, no great man, no godly status. But Buddhist worship began with the Hinayana type of Hinayana pantheon of religion, Buddhist religion, and Buddha was first sculptured. Buddha's image was first sculptured in Gandhara, a region in the northwest, now in Pakistan. And who prepared it? It was prepared by the Greek sculpture, Greek artist. Because in Greece there was image worship. They were worshipping their gods, Apollo, Athena, all these gods and Olympias, all these gods and goddesses were having images. And these images were for the first time appeared on Indian soil. But these images were not accepted by Indians. But later on in Mathura and in Sarnath, Buddhist images were sculptured and they were worshipped. And gradually, this image worship tradition was transformed to the Hindu pantheon. Hindus also began to carve out their own images to worship, like the Buddhist. And when I was discussing about Brahmanization and Kshatriyization of tribal people, I had told you that when Aryan elements, they came in contact with the tribal people in early medieval period, around from 4th, 5th century to 10th century, to 12th century, around within this period of 600, 700 years, they came in contact with the tribal people, and Aryan elements were shared by the tribal elements. Tribal people, Aryan devotional element, Aryan puja elements, Aryan puja style, they were also shared by the tribal people. So also, in order to attract the tribal into the Aryan fold and to make tribal their followers, Aryans also, they share some of the tribal features concerning rituals, concerning their puja, devotion, etc. And as a result, there was an amalgamation of tribal and Aryan elements in the matter of religious. And that gave birth to different types of tantric worship, mantric worship, and all sorts of mudra. Then all sorts of mudra in the applied in the puja, applied in the worship. All these were the tribal phenomena, tribal elements. And later on, when society gradually becoming more and more complex with these sorts of elements, some of the preachers, some of the saints, they thought of a simple way of worshipping, simple way of devotion, and that was bhakti. That was bhakti. Bhakti which can be reflected, which can be expressed through the through your sentiment, through your feeling, and so it should come from the core of your heart. तम अंतर निवृत्त कोणर जो चेतनाटा आसीबो जो भावटा आसीबो सेटा हो भक्ति एवं जो विभिन्न प्रकार योग विभिन्न प्रकार मुद्रा विभिन्न प्रकार मंत्र उच्चारण जो ट्राइबल एंड नॉन ट्राइबल आर्यन मानक भीतर जो प्रकार एमालगमेशन है इंटरेक्शन है होतला ता केते जन को संतुष्ट करि पनतला किछि सजेस किछि ऋषि किछि मुनि समान चाहुतले किछि सेंस जोगी समान चाहुतले एई भले बारे करिया पई एवं हमें देखुछु जमिति साउथ रे अलवार एवं नयनार सेंस माने they carried on the bhakti movement for Saiva and Vaishnava for different sects, two different sects. Similarly, around in the medieval time, we see there are number of saints like Ramanuja, Ramananda, Kabir, Namadeva, then Nanak. They also preached bhakti, and this bhakti was preached for the sake of attaining eternal peace. Attaining eternal peace. Remember one thing, not for the blessing of gods and goddesses, we have not seen them, but for eternal peace. When we are actually imposing our faith on somebody and we are believing, then there is some sort of solace. That is what they used to preach. And now your question, why these different types of gods and goddesses, sectarian attitude? Actually, this sectarian attitude had already started after later Vedic period. When these different gods and goddesses, they appeared out of the minds of the people. For example, in Rigvedic age, we have only 33 types of gods and goddesses. They represented different elements of the nature. 33. Now people gradually did a very amazing thing. लोक माने बहुत बढ़िया जिनसे उड़े कर देले आश्चर्य जिनस जे 33 टाको कहि देले 33 कोटी. And this koti here does not mean crore. Remember one thing, 33 crores of gods and goddesses are not there in the Hindu pantheon. 33 koti means prakar. Types, correct. Prakar. Koti, uccho koti ro, uccho prakar ro. Jimiti ame kocho uccho koti ro kalakar, uccho koti ro sangitangya. Uccho koti ro kalakar means uccho prakar ro. So koti means prakar, types. But people they generally distorted it by making it a representation of crore. Crore means numerical sense, in numerical sense. So in this way, we see that there was no such gods like Shiva and Vishnu. Vishnu was one of the Aditya. In the concept of the Rigvedic Aditya concept, Vishnu was one of the Aditya. There are 16 Adityas, Shodaditya. Similarly, we don't get the name of Shiva. Shiva was called Rudra. And later on, this Trinity cult developed. Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. Brahma was given the traditional concept of creation, and Vishnu was given the traditional concept of preservation, and Shiva was given the traditional creation concept of destruction. So gradually, when Brahma remained silent as the creator, this Vishnu and Shiva, they played a very vital role in the minds of the people so far the religion is concerned. And there were also people who began to like and dislike. Generally, Shiva is destruction, we should not like, and Vishnu is preserver, we should like. Shiva is very good because he gives us boon very soon, therefore we must like. This way, people began to adhere to Brahma, Shiva either or Vishnu. So in this way, we got Saivite cult and Vaishnavite cult. Vaishnavite cult center around this Vasudeva, Krishna, and Vishnu, and Saivite cult center around Shiva, Rudra, all these things. And Shiva had so many avatars, Vishnu had so many avatars. All these things began to develop, and that gave a sectarian look. But remember one thing, in Hindu philosophy, sectarian look, sectarian concept had come to a point where both these sects, they mix together to make a complete sense, and we see there lies the essence of Hindu culture, Hindu religion, and where it says Brahma is one, only one. Eka Brahma Ditya Nasti, that Shankaracharya also preached it in 9th century. Shankaracharya's death is 812 to 834, 40. He lived for 32 years. At a young age he died. So Shankaracharya also is Eka Brahma Ditya Nasti. So also in Vedic culture there is Eka Brahma Ditya Nasti. So you may call it Shiva, you may call it Vishnu. They are all one. So in this way, Hindu religion tried to bring a synthesis of all these among all these sects. And as such we see there is always a thing that we try to interact with different groups. Different group, आम विभिन्न ग्रुप सहित इंटरेक्ट करियाको चाहूँ भल पाव एवं सेना हमर गोटे भल जिंस भी एवं आमे देखो जे ट्राइबल आर्यन इंटरेक्शन पतरे गोटे नुआ प्रकार सेक्टर डेवलप करछि नुआ प्रकार पूजा पद्धति डेवलप करछि सेमिति किंतु ता भितर मध्ये आम माने खोजि पाउछे गुटे ब्रह्म एक ब्रह्म महाब्रह्म परम ब्रह्म this concept of param brahma still exists and it is all pervasive. Okay, Rakesh.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I understood that.
Are you satisfied?
Yes, sir. I want to conclude that I understood that the theme of this type of idol worship comes from the Veda. There is 33 crore.
Idol worship. Just a minute. Idol worship has not come from Veda. There was no reference to idol worship. There was worship in the form of prayer and yajna to 33 types of deity, 33 types of deity who were representing different elements of the gods. When we are coming to idol is a representation of a deity in some form. Generally in Indian concept, it is anthropomorphic form. Anthropomorphic means human form. अरे भगवान को हमें पूजा करछु भगवान प्रकृति रे देखिया को जो बळे हमें तांको पूजा करछु से बळे कि नु हमें जानि नु but we have given him a form. So idol worship has never come from Veda. Idol worship has come from this Buddhist Mahayana religious sect.
Okay,
it is very interesting.
Okay, sir. Sir, there's a two dominant deities. They are Vishnu and another is Shiva. So that mainly there are two sects developed: Shiva and Vaishnava. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Another thing I want to know that at first man offers something to God at the time of Yajna, and he also gives milk and different things what he harvesting from his field. But why he think that blood is necessary for the God, and if we sacrifice a animal or a living thing, then God will be satisfied? Why this type of idea developed among the human beings?
You see, I must give this reply not from historical point of view, but from socio-psychological point of view. Okay? For historical point of view, we don't have any concrete answer. From socio-psychological view,
okay, sir.
All men are not equal. Some people may try to convince somebody by love and affection, by requesting, by a very amicable way, but some may also like to do it by force, by showing their eyes, and even if they can go to the extent of thrashing or beating or killing. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now what happened toward the end of the later Vedic age? Kings, those who were actually in the Vedic age, they were small chieftains, or they were called Raja, Rajna, or Gopo. They became they tending to be the supreme power, sovereign power, and in order to establish their sovereignty, they began to conquer far and wide. And in course of conquering, there is a lot of bloodshed. And that bloodshed was not cared by kings and monarchs. And they tried to conduct so many yajnas in the name of God, like Rajasuya, then there was Ashwamedha, and then there was Bajapaya. These yajnas were nothing, they were only they were to show the grandeur and pompous title of the pompous position of the king. And as a result, they used to sacrifice some animal in order to show that we are sacrificing the animal, we are doing the bloodshed, and we won't care if another bloodshed by in course of invasion or in course of conquest occurs. आमे ब्लडसेड करिया को प्रस्तुत होछु पूजा रे एवं दरकार पड़ले आमे कंकर कला बेलकू अभियान ले गला मध्ये एमिति बहुत ब्लडसेड करि परिबु. So this is a type of sobaji that what I am just giving this explanation, not historical point of view. I'm just giving this answer from the point of view of socio-psychological analysis. I'm not a psychologist, but so far a little bit knowledge I have concerning human mind and as well as social basis. This may be the proper explanation so far I am concerned. I don't know. There may be some other view by the other scholars. So this may be the things, and in course of time they began to legitimatize this practice of bloodshedding by offering bali, pashu bali, or by offering animal sacrifices. That animal property, animal wealth has been also given by the God. So when we are giving God milk and other products from the field, why cannot we give the animal to the God, so that if we sacrifice the animal in the name of God, we can also have this prasad of meat in the name of God. Bhagwan ka naam re ame prasad pai pariba, mansahar kari pariba. In this way, there was some sort of tradition concerning this animal sacrifices, nothing else. Yes.
It has no reply from history, but it has a psychological point of view. Yes, sir.
No, I told you, this is no such.
Yes,
I
sir.
cannot just show any historical stance behind this, because society is always not moving with a concrete idea or concrete matter. There are certain psychological, very absurd, or we can say some sort of absurd activities, absurd thinking, which we cannot just explain.
But
We cannot
sir,
explain.
I have some idea. What I think from my psychological point of view, can I share with you, sir?
Yes, why not? I have already given you the privilege and also freedom to share your ideas, because this is a platform where you can share our knowledge, respective knowledge. Anybody can share his knowledge, his or her knowledge.
Yes,
Sir,
sir,
yes, you are welcome.
I think that the Brahminis at first think themselves as they are preachers, they are the teachers, they are the sacred person of the society, they get the first position in the society. They can't do the evil things, they can't harm to any animal, they can harm any sects of this society, so that they can't eat meat or fish or anything else, because they are herbivores. But at the next, when they think that how we can enjoy these things, when the another people are enjoying by eating the non-veg, because they are the vegetarians. So that they want to enjoy the what is the taste of the non-veg, so that they start this type of things, that God must need the blood of the animals. When the God get the blood of the animals, then this animal become the prasad for everyone. Then everyone should eat.
Exactly. You are to some extent you are correct, but your idea may be correct to a little bit, but not totally, because in Rigvedic age there was also reference to meat eating. There is reference to meat eating, and rishis and munis who were living in the jungle, they were also going for hunting to get meat. So in this way, we know that there are rishis, those were also taking meat, and hunting also was going on. So in this way, we cannot say that Brahmins were devoid of eating meat. There were no such restriction that Brahmana should not eat meat or fish like that. But it was later on, very later period, it was imposed, a restriction imposed on Brahmins, that as spiritual practices were conducted by this fellow, they should not eat this meat and fish like things, should not take liquor, because they are all rajasic and tamasic food. And as Brahmins are conducting spiritual work, spiritual duties, so they should always be swatik. Therefore, they should not take all these things, because rajasic and tamasic.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Plausible explanation, maybe. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At last, I can't listen to you.
Thank you. I think nobody has anything. Yes.
Hello.
What is?
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
At
I have not
last,
left. I am there in the
Okay,
meeting.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. My doubt is clear, sir. Thank you too much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now I think
No.
we must wind. Now, Dr. Sao, if you are present,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
am very much present, and we will wind up the program.
Thank you very much for your help, because you have given me a lot of help, immense help, by presenting the study material on the screen. Thank you very much. Again, we shall meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, sir. विजय सर आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you, sir.
आप डिस्प्ले शो करिपारे सर. धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Good night to everybody.
Good night, sir. Thank you.